All right, welcome to the 23rd episode of the Dead Soon podcast. I am back after a bit of a break. I was checking, my last episode was, I think, like May 2nd or May 5th with Dr. Was. So, I mean, I kind of deprioritized the podcast, I won't lie, with just like end of school, like basically just wanting to hang out with friends as much as possible, then sort of just schoolwork finishing up. And then the biggest thing, just job applications. So a lot of job applications, just just a lot. And I just kind of wanted to live in the moment, sort of live by my own principles. And even though I love this podcast. Um, I wanted to prioritize something that I know was like kind of had to be experienced. I don't want to lock myself away at all. Was really trying to just be in the moment for everything, especially I mean it's my last semester ever, so um, I guess biggest update, I did graduate this past Saturday. Uh, yeah, I mean I did it. It's been 4 years. I guess this is kind of serving to me. Some of these episodes, I guess the solo ones sometimes will seem more just like a time capsule, so maybe they won't be as interesting to some people. I know like my goal is obviously to have a lot of interviews, but it's going to be difficult to kind of keep this going. So I'm just gonna, I mean, maybe we'll have more solos. Try to get an interview every once in a while, a friend, a family member, maybe a professor. But yeah, I mean, I'll be starting. The plan is I'll be starting like full time work June 16th. So maybe I'll try to get one or two like interviews before that time on here, and then try to make it so I'm like, my idea is like sort of like planning out episodes during my commute, like and just during downtime and just whenever ideas hit me. That would be like the general plan. Just close this. In case it's echoing. Yeah, that'd be the general plan. It's gonna be difficult. My goal was 20 this year, I believe. So I mean, I'm doing good. I'm at 23 for this episode, so I'll be good. I'll just try to hit my goal. Um, Obviously, I'm going to be working full time. It's not like I can just put everything down and just fully focus on this, but I'm okay with this sort of being a time capsule for me sometimes. Sometimes these episodes aren't, I'm not trying to get famous off this podcast. I'm just trying to have a creative outlet and then also sort of have this for the future, for me to look back on. So yeah, so let me just get into it. Yeah, I graduated. I had an amazing 4 years of college. Learned so much about myself. So many lessons learned. Lots of ups. Not many downs. Mostly just a great experience. Honestly, like nothing stands out as being like, oh my god, that sucked. It was more so like, wow, there's so many fun things, and every year felt distinctly different. Uh, First semester, I was really struggling, like my first ever semester. But then sort of meeting Jules really helped me a lot. And then just sort of having a solidified friend group also helped a ton. Um, the way I'm going to structure this episode is sort of like lessons I learned and like important things. Then sort of like special thanks to specific people. Then sort of just like a reflection. Then going over my favorite memories. And then kind of life now. And then advice that I'd give to a future college student. I guess these lessons are kind of also like I would give to a college student coming in or a current student. My first one is just that time flies. I mean, it's a cliche. Everybody told me this. Everybody in college, everybody out of college was like, "It's going to be an awesome 4 years, but it's going to fly by." I didn't believe them, and it's correct. Uh, Especially like I think it's like I mean, it's like everything else where it's sort of something can be a bit of a slog in the moment, but I think it just like after study abroad, like after that was my second semester sophomore year, it flew by. It really does. So sort of with that in mind, like I learned that I really had to like cherish every memory, and then everybody kind of gets that same feeling like as you get later into senior year, you're like, oh my gosh, like this is really it. So I really need to focus and like go out as much as I can and hang out with as many people and not lock myself away in my room and not worry about little stuff. I think having that mentality for like the entirety of college, maybe not with like the getting crazy and like drinking a ton, but like more so with the like living in the moment and like the little things, just not really worrying about them, I think is so huge. Because I mean, when we're in it, it sucks. Like sometimes things just aren't fun. But I think it's a big lesson, and it's to sort of not sweat the small stuff, and like um, if you mess up on an assignment, like it's not the end of the world. Just don't let it ruin your whole day. Don't let it ruin your week, especially. Just forget about it. Email your professor and lock back in. That's really it. Don't let it take over you, and don't let little things ruin your day. My second one, this was just for me, but get it done early was big, just sort of when it comes to assignments, because obviously you're there to get the degree, that is the end goal, but also you could get an online degree if you really were just there for the degree. You're there for the social, you're the full experience, you're there to become a better person, you're there to learn more about yourself, and you're there to be away from home sometimes. Like there's a lot of elements to it, so for me, because obviously I'm there to get the degree and I want to do well, I'm going to prioritize schoolwork. But by prioritizing it, I'm doing it during the day. I'm doing it early. I'm getting it done as soon as it is assigned to me. It's done. And I'm forgetting about it. It's all good. Like I'm trying to be consistently ahead. Um, Basically, just trying to make time for other things. Like I don't want to do homework on the weekends. I almost never did homework on the weekends. Obviously, I didn't have a very difficult major, but no matter what major I had, I would be prioritizing not having work at night and not having work on weekends. Above all, not working at night. So that kind of ties into just figuring out how you work. So for me, um, I know that I'm not productive at night and it doesn't work well for me. So I knew I want to work out and I want to be ahead of my schoolwork. So I'm going to work out immediately first thing, get it done, knock it out, sets you up for the day, makes you feel good, and then do my homework in the morning into the afternoon. So I basically always had after 5:30 free. I think sometimes this did have some negatives. I think sometimes with like people I lived with, I always tried to be like around and present, and like have my door open, and I'm like always up for a chat. But I think sometimes I would get into like when I'd get really busy with work, I would sort of just lock myself away during the day, and then lock myself away during the day. Wait, sorry, one sec. Lock myself away during the day, and then sort of like after 6, I'm like, I'm here, I'm ready to hang out with people. But some people do their homework after 6, so then it would sort of sometimes I just wouldn't see people. So I think that was a lesson, sort of getting the homework done, but also being flexible to be like keeping the door open unless you're really locking in. But yeah, I mean, it was big, and I think I maybe missed out on a little bit of like interaction, but I think I did pretty good with that. Um, uh, Big part of that also, like kind of learning your work like strategy, like how you operate, was big for me. uh I mean, just like I knew, so I sort of like am able to do work in like 90-minute stretches, so I lock in for the 90 minutes, um and then like lock in for 90 minutes, and I need at least a 20-minute break, and I can be very productive during those 90 minutes. But yeah, I mean, it's the 90 minutes, like, it sort of just works for me. Like, I was able to get a ton during those 90 minutes, but I could always tell when those 90 minutes were up, because I would sort of lose that productivity. Yeah, so I mean, sort of figure out what works for you. Um, yeah, I mean, it's big. It's sort of work figuring out your work style, because it's like it applies for the rest of your life. Like, you kind of like are gonna work similarly. I don't know. I mean, if I don't know if that's great advice, but it worked for me and it was essential. My next one, this is not for everybody, but so early college, I was just basically sleeping in as much as I could. Um, just sort of like if you're up late, but my priority was always to get up early. And this is sort of just, this was for me because I had my priority. My priority a lot of the time these past 2 semesters was training for running for my races. So for me, I was like, I understand my priorities. So I know I'm running every day, or 5 days a week, 6 days a week, and I know I need to start the week off right. So to build around my class schedule, but uh, I know my Friday and Saturday I need to do a long run on each of those days. So that's a huge commitment. That's a lot of time. It's 2 to 3 to 4 hours per. And then during the week, I know I want to get an hour, hour and a half run in. So I knew I had to get it done early. So some nights I had to go to bed early. Like Sunday nights, I was always going to bed early, even if people are hanging out. unless it's the greatest event of my life, I'm going to go to bed and I'm going to start the week off right because it really sets me off right. I know for school sometimes, I mean, it's just how I am. I kind of need to be very organized like that. I know a lot of people are kind of able to sort of more go with the flow. I'm not really a go with the flow guy. I like to have my schedule, have my calendar, know exactly kind of what's going on. Yeah, I mean, most of this is just personal to me, but just figure out what works for you. My next was prioritize people over school. Obviously, this kind of ties into what I had before, but you're there for the degree. Like it's the goal. But like I said, if you wanted a degree, you could have got an online degree. You're there and you're paying to become a more well-rounded person and to enjoy your time and for the social aspects and for everything. It's more than just a degree, and there's so much more to it. So prioritizing people over school, I think, is so essential. Like sometimes, like even for me, like I love to get my homework done as soon as possible. But if there's something going on and people are hanging out, people are having fun, people have something planned, I'm going to delay the homework and I'm going to prioritize the people. And it's good for me because if I'm me delaying the homework is me not doing it the first day. Like I usually have at least 2-3 days to do the homework. I'm going to get it done and prioritize it and stay organized, but I want to prioritize people. And I guess with like having this sort of system, like build a system for yourself. Um, it's essential. Like build that system that like for me, I used my phone notes and I had like 5 different widgets for each one, or like a widget for each one of my classes on my home screen. I just write it down. That's what I used for 2.5 years. Then I switched over to just having like a big notepad every week, write all my assignments out, due dates, and that's it. And that worked great for me. And I also use my Apple calendars. I use the Remind app, stuff like that. Just keep it organized. Uh, Next one is set boundaries. Have fun, but trust your gut. I wrote. It's okay to go crazy, go wild, but sort of just be aware of your surroundings is big. Um, be crazy in your dorm. Don't be crazy on the streets of a nearby city. Not speaking from experience, but um, it's like where my school is, like it's not the greatest area sometimes, so just sort of being aware and not doing anything really stupid, and also looking out for your friends. And especially if you have a friend who gets a little bit too crazy, you're gonna have to keep an eye out. If you're like, it's just kind of a part of it. Like you gotta be ready to look out for somebody. Yeah, I mean those are like the main sort of lessons I had. This is kind of like just like obviously big picture looking back. Like I'm gonna forget things throughout this, like me going over stuff. This is sort of just quick. I was trying to get this episode as quick as possible. It's Tuesday night, I think. Yeah, Tuesday night. I graduated on Saturday. I was so dead. This last week was tiring. It was a lot of like party, senior night or senior stuff. So I had like a formal graduation, going to the bar, etc. So it was a lot, but it was very very fun. But it was rough on the health. All right. So my next, I'm doing a little bit of like gratitude. Um, Let me see. Okay, here we go. All right. Gratitude, grateful for people. First, Jules, my girlfriend, best gift, best thing that's ever happened to me. Honestly, she's made me such a better person. She's was just always there for me for 4 years. Like we went through the entirety of school together. We met like late September freshman year. And we went abroad together. We did everything together. We met when we were 18. Like it's just like I'm so grateful. I know some people don't meet their person until they're much later in their life, and I'm just grateful. I mean, I really am. This is every other worry that I have, financial worry, like just anything, any stressor. Like I'm like at least I met her. Like that's really the biggest thing. Like that was so huge for me. Um, Next, my family, just everybody having a support system was so helpful. Being able to just have people always that were rooting for me was great. Even if I wasn't super like contacting everybody constantly, like I was not great sometimes about that. But they gave me space. They let me like go through everything on my own. But we're always there to, if anything went wrong, they're always there for me. So yeah, I mean it's huge. Having a support system is so grateful. They're so awesome. I'm very grateful for it. I know not everyone has an amazing support system, so it's big. Next, my friend group, Alan's House, as we're called, because our RA was named Alan freshman year, and he kind of connected us all together. So we are Alan's House, or Alan's Home, as we call it. I mean, just was blessed with a great friend group. We stayed friends since freshman year, the same kind of core. Like up in like we were a bigger group freshman year, then sort of from sophomore year on, we kind of ironed out and became like a core group of 8. It's been awesome. Like I got to once again, like people go through multiple friend groups. People don't have friends for some semesters. Like I'm grateful that I had the same core group and lived with the same guys for all 4 years. Like that's not everybody gets that. I really had an amazing experience with the friends. Um, so much laughter, just always something going on. Very entertaining. Just I really just have no complaints when it comes to friends. Very grateful. That's Alan's House. And then sort of just other friends, whether it's classmates or people closer to me. I just feel like I always had people around me who cared about me. It was awesome. I'm very, very appreciative. And vice versa. There's people I cared about. These are like I never really had any negative experience, any super negative experience. Like there's ups and downs, but even like by the end of college, like a sort of bigger friend group emerged of just like kind of everybody, like my girlfriend's friends, my friends, some other people. Like it was awesome, and by the end it was just amazing. Having everybody all be friends and just like I don't know. It was big. I'm very grateful for that. Next, Joanna, who I interviewed, Joanna Devanzo. She sort of like is the reason I ended up in the major I did. She showed me that I'm capable of more than I think I am. She pushed my limits. She gave me lots of constructive criticism and constructive feedback. And um, she's my advisor. She's my favorite professor. She's the reason I like successfully came out of Marist. She's fantastic. If you didn't listen to the episode, please listen to it. She's a very interesting person. Worked in the advertising world for a long time. Art director. She's phenomenal, and I thank her so much for everything that she did for me. Next, Daryl. I also interviewed him. Also, sort of like I've seen Joanna and Daryl as my sort of mentors. He just saw something in me. Like I signed up for to interview to be a part of the class that he was running about the Marist brand campaign. And he like even during that session, I was the first one to sign up. Um, as Joanna will also attest to, I was always the first to sign up for advising meetings. We met, we chatted, and by the end of it, he was like, "All right, you're in." He didn't even like wait to do the other interviews. He's like, "All right, you're in, 100%." So showing that belief in me, seeing something in me that I don't know, it just makes you feel good. Like the power of somebody believing in you is so huge. Like it makes you able to do so much more than you think you're able to do. So this was huge. I mean, he's been such an important person in my college experience. I interned for him. Yeah, I mean, he showed me. He also like was like a shining star of like communications and marketing is like a viable field, and like you can have major career growth. Then also just sort of special shout out Dr. Blumenthal, my first professor interview on here, and just an awesome non-advertising professor. She's awesome, and I appreciate her going out of her comfort zone and letting me interview her. Yeah, I mean she's awesome. Thank you so much to everybody. I mean, if I didn't mention anybody, if you're appreciated. If I really do appreciate so many people, and thank you so much for an awesome college experience to everybody specifically. Next sort of like reflection section, like big thing. Didn't really like fully click for me until my soccer coaching professor said it. Basically just like college is such a bubble. Like it's like in no other, like it just doesn't exist in another place. It's like you're living in a community with people your age, no work obligations, access to food, a social scene, everything prepaid for, and having total freedom to do whatever you want. Like it is an unbelievable thing that like nothing else is similar to. It was awesome. it's amazing, but it's like it is not the real world. And like there's not really like that like the same level of consequences, and like it's a bit clicky, and you have so much freedom. It's an interesting, weird bubble of a place, and I'm glad I experienced it. Definitely, I don't regret anything. I can confidently say. Yeah, I mean I think that's big. I mean, I never want to live with regret, so I'm glad that I don't regret anything when it comes to school. Next, I'm just gonna kind of name some favorite memories, just randomly. This is sort of for me for the time capsule purposes. But it's not in a specific order. I'm sure I'm gonna forget so many because there are so many amazing memories. But first one, just living with friends, like all of it. Like there's just like so much laughter, just so much joy, so much funniness. Like it was fantastic. Like this isn't even a specific memory. This just covers like 80% of school. Like I loved it. Everybody was so awesome as I talked about. Um, Next, meeting my girlfriend also spoke on that, but essential, most important moment of my life probably, and I'm so glad that my friends also kind of pushed me to get out of my comfort zone and talk to her and go along with them to meet people, and it was huge. If I didn't do it, I don't know where I would be right now. Next, studying abroad. This I studied abroad in my second semester sophomore year, so early. Most people do it junior year. This was a great learning experience. I think I look back on it in like a weird way sometimes, where I'm like, maybe I wish I did a little bit more and took advantage of it a little bit more. But I think I had so much personal growth and like sort of like just lessons. Like I won't go into everything, but just like I think I learned a lot of lessons and learned a lot about kind of like independence, and also like how important it is to have a support system. Um, yeah, I mean, there was a lot. There was I think some of my like more lows were in the sort of end of study abroad, if I had to name like some lows in college. But I mean, it was a great experience. I'm glad I did it. I learned a lot. But I also was like, I wouldn't live in another country. I'm good with the U.S. Next, sort of just running. I mean, it became such a central part. I like used to, my freshman year, I used to just like sprint on the treadmill in the basement of my dorm like a freak. Um, and that sort of evolved into like sort of, uh, I don't really know if I ran sophomore year. I think I ran a little bit, but abroad didn't run at all. Got into bad shape. Like was like 25 pounds heavier than I am now. I Then I started to run a little bit, and then I sort of just like got more into it, and then got to January 1st. I was like, I need to do a marathon. It needs to happen. So I trained for it, did it, done, success. Then got kind of right into training for my ultra. Did that, got hurt after, took a while off, went back sort of, I think, January again, and then started training for my 50 mile. So it kind of became a core part of my identity in college. It sort of just like became known by a lot of people as just like the runner. I'm basically just like the runner or the Clash of Clans guy. That's kind of my two claims to fame. But yeah, I mean, running has taught me so much, especially with I think the injury teaches you a lot too, kind of about like don't overdo it. Like the big picture is more important than the day by day, but the day by day builds the big picture. If that maybe that made sense, but sort of like well, I think of it like it's fine to skip a day of running if you're feeling physically not good, like you may get hurt, but it's not okay to skip a full week unless you're feeling terrible. Like it's fine. Like I skipped a week of training just from injury during my 50-mile training, um, because I wasn't feeling good. But big picture, I still completed every other run, so that's where I was set up. But if I was skipping 2 runs a week consistently, I wasn't going to be able to do it. I'm glad I did it. This is the only time in my life where I'm probably going to have this much free time, unless I retire at 30 somehow. Having so much time to run, like I was able to run like an hour and a half every day, and then like 4 hours on Fridays and Saturdays. Like this was a lot, and I think the best culmination was a sort of ending with I call it the Dead Soon 50, my grassroots 50-mile effort from last episode. or 2 episodes ago. Yeah, I mean, it was like a sort of crowning moment of my running. Like it was sort of like getting everybody together and helping me, pacing me. It meant a lot to me, and I appreciate all my friends for joining me for that journey. Next, the winery. We been a bunch of times. It was always awesome. Um, just a great experience. Like it's always so fun, just laying out in the grass, drinking some wine, lots of laughs, lots of fun. Next, the pre-games. I always loved the pre-game, hanging out with people before going out, or even just not going out and just sticking and just hanging out. Yeah, I mean, it was fun. That was really it. Like lots of fun, lots of meeting people and hanging out. Next, intramural sports. I played volleyball, basketball, soccer, kickball, and pickleball. I might be missing one. Um, I mean, these were always fun. Sometimes it was just like sucked because they'd be at night, but it was always fun with a group. Don't do them alone. Uh, Classes. I mean, I had pretty great experience in the classroom. I never really had a class where I was like, "This is the worst thing ever," except for really struggled in like one class specifically. Um, my cognitive science class was a little bit brutal, but I still ended up fine. My next one that this might be my favorite of all memories, honestly. Like, uh, was just like cooking with Jules. Like, this was sort of a tradition. Like, we would cook multiple times a week, and it was always so much fun. Like, um, our sophomore year, I would do like funny cooking videos of like our finished meals. Like, I just felt joy in like the completion of the meals, and doing it with her was always so fantastic. Um, Next to dining hall, back on food. Um, the dining hall was always fun. It's just a classic. It's like the dining hall kind of looks like Hogwarts. It was always a blast. Even if it ended up with like freshman year, just like we'd all go in with a huge group of us, go into the dining hall. We all go out. We go back in the dorm. Everybody files into the bathroom. Like it happens. Even if it ended up with sprinting to the bathroom, still a blast. Still loved every minute of the dining hall, and the food was pretty good. Next, my friends visiting from home for my birthday was awesome. Sort of like them getting to meet um, everybody at school was awesome. Uh, they kind of just like it was sort of last minute, kind of happened, but I mean, it was such a fun weekend. My girlfriend's cousin visited on the Friday, and then my friends visited on the Saturday. We all went out together. We had a blast. They stayed on my floor on an air mattress. It was just awesome. Um, yeah, I mean it was big. I liked them meeting all my school friends. Like it sort of felt like a big moment. Next SantaCon, we went to a SantaCon in one of the bars in our town, or in the Poughkeepsie. Uh, and the World Cup was playing. It was electric, super fun. Uh, Not much to really talk about besides it was just a core memory. I don't know. Anyone who was there, it was awesome. Um, Next, um, the first time me and Jules exchanged gifts was we did like a before winter break, like on the bench, on the random bench in Marist before Christmas. And it was just such a foundational moment. I'm not gonna like I don't know. It was just really it. It was just like an awesome moment. We exchanged gifts. It was like the first time we'd exchanged gifts before. Um, yeah, it was awesome. Those are my memories. I obviously there's so many more, and those are just like the ones I kind of threw together that I was thinking of. Um, but getting into sort of, I guess I'll do the advice that I give to students first. Besides stuff from the start of the episode, big one that helped me say yes to everything, almost everything. Um, this changed my life. Like this was huge. I was always someone. I still am. Look a lot of time at the negative. Uh, but I always, when I got to school, I kind of made a purposeful effort to be like, I need to say yes to things. Um, Even when they're out of my comfort zone, as long as I'm like my gut doesn't tell me like this is unsafe. I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm with people I trust. Let's go. Uh, and like, if I think like, what did this give me? Everything. My girlfriend, my friends, my major, my happiness, the running, the podcast, everything that gives me joy from school came from saying yes to everything. So do it. Even if you don't want to, as long as you're being safe and as long as you feel like you're not being like absolutely pressured and it says feels like against your will to like drink or something, like just have fun, say yes to things, and do it in a safe environment. Um, Next, cherish the good people, hold on to them, treat them well. I mean, this is huge. I mean, people are everything, relationships are everything. Um, means nothing if it's not with people. Uh, then just sort of being ready for change and having this kind of open mind, I think, is big. Um, Such an important thing. Uh, be ready for the craziness, be ready for the wildness, and just embrace it and don't think too much about it. Just kind of just love it, just live in the moment. That's the biggest thing. That's the theme. It's a big part of the podcast. Just live in the moment. Just get in the moment. Be here. Uh, it's essential. That's my sort of college recap. Graduation. I didn't really talk about graduation. Graduation was it was good. It was a nice like kind of finale moment. We had every bit of weather. We had pouring or first it was just like nice weather like 50s, then it kind of got to like 65 and it was really sunny. And then it just started pouring. Then during the graduation, then stopped and then went back and by the time it started pouring at like the halfway point, so a lot of people had already graduated. So basically, everybody who graduated just left, and then it started getting like I when we were like 3/4 of the way forward, like the way through, like probably like 60% of people were gone. So it was nice at least like all my like a couple of my friends and my girlfriend kind of moved seats, so we were all sitting together to see one of our like last few of our friends graduate because one of my friends was fifth to last. Shout out to Zach for being a late last name in the last major. But yeah, it was great. We got to take some like final photos, say our goodbyes, and my family was there too. It was good. It was awesome. I'm glad I stuck it out in the rain. I wasn't gonna go inside. Like to me, it was like it's that final test of like uh, your will. Like, can you survive this last thing? And most turns out most people can't survive a little bit of rain. So, no offense to anybody who went inside, but go on. Okay, yeah. And then I mean, I came home. I'm back home. I've been home since Sunday. Um, but the last night on Saturday night was awesome. It was sort of like a couple. Most people left, so just like seven of us. We just like hung out, just talked memories, and it was emotional, but it was good. I'm glad I stayed. It was a great final send off. All right, now back to now. My goal. So I've been I finished the 50 mile end of April. Um, Sort of like took a week off, then kind of like came back to running, ran a 20-mile week. Started to feel a bit beat up. Sort of had this like little like outer leg injury, so just took like 2 full weeks off, maybe even three. Probably 3 weeks of like very minimal, like just biking and keeping it light. And then this past week was just like I was so busy with senior week stuff, so didn't really do much workout wise. So and also just like eating wise, which is very unhealthy. So big one, trying to eat clean, work out every day, uh, just kind of like keeping that streak, like getting the winning streak going of like building that habits because I kind of want to build these habits before I start work because once I start work I'll be on autopilot, so I want to get these habits sort of locked in. Um, Avoiding social media, big. I think it just like ends up being a time suck a lot of the times. Like it's fine to in moderation, but I think it ends up being a time suck a lot of the time. Stretching, trying to stretch every day. I'm so inflexible. I'm trying to be able to crisscross applesauce. It's gonna be tough, but just general like kind of workout wise, I want to become a more like well-rounded, balanced sort of person, like an athlete, rather than just being running. So for now, I'm gonna try and stick in that like 20 to 25 miles per week. Maybe have it so I'm like running 3 times during the week, and then just like a big hike on Saturdays or something like that. Maybe run 4 times a week, hike on Saturday, something like that. Getting a little bit more like lifting and body weight and calisthenics going. I want to be strong. I want to be good at running. I want to be a well-rounded person. Um, Next, budgeting. Just want to kind of get better because as I'm kind of having a consistent income, I can be very consistent, like putting money in different buckets and sort of just tackling everything around that. Lastly, journaling. Um, I'm doing a 1 year journaling sort of challenge with my girlfriend. I got us both journals, and we're gonna do a year. Our goal is to be living together in a year. We'll see how that goes, but yeah. So we're gonna journal for a year, and then hopefully after the year we're moved in together, and then we'll go over our full year. Because I mean, it's gonna be challenging, but I'm up for the challenge. I know she's the one, so there's no real stress on my mind. It's more so just when we'll be living together rather than like if we're gonna be together. Um, which makes me feel confident, makes me feel good. And it gives me something that gives me that little bit of extra motivation. Because I'm ready to lock in at work. I'm ready to grind. So yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really good. Post grad, I haven't had like a wave of like I had a couple emotional moments, just like when I was by myself walking, and I just like took a seat outside and just really living in the moment and feeling it. Um, but yeah, it's good. I don't think there's any point being sad because I had such a good experience. I'm like, it's over, and I'd rather end on a high than be like, oh my gosh, I'm staying for another year, and then it sucks. Like, no, I want to end on the high. I want to end on the good. I'm not gonna be one of those pro athletes that plays until they're 45 and they're getting knocked out every like those UFC guys. I'm trying to be the Khabib and end up on top and just live it up, live in the moment. It's really where I'm at. I'm gonna try and get some other people on. Podcast is still not like my absolute top priority, but at least it'll be more of a priority these next couple of weeks. Try to get two more in. Um, we'll see. Still on track to get my goal, but any bonus would be great. Um, yeah, I think that's all I got. It's episode 23. Uh, Shout out to Michael Jordan. Uh, yeah, thank you for listening. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. I'm sure you can see, but did another video one. It doesn't really add much, but I think it just kind of helps me get more used to it, and also if I want to make clips. But that's very time consuming. I have some I did some clips with AI that I uploaded on Instagram. I gotta upload the rest of those because I have a bunch in a folder. But yeah, uh, thank you so much if you made it this far. I appreciate it. And I will see you in the next episode. Thank you very much for listening.